Hello crafty friends, it's Elisa from Paisley Papyrus. I am here for video number 1 in our Tasteful Library. I am going to start with one of our note cards from our Very Vanilla Note Cards and Envelopes pack, and they should all be scored in the middle, as you can see. Maybe you can't, I don't know, it's pretty light. And then you're going to take that and oops, I got a little something on it over there. Fold this over in half. I like to make sure that it lines up evenly over here because I tend to be a little particular about that. Now, if you bought the bone folder, mine is from my upline. If you bought the bone folder, you can use your bone folder to make it nice and flat. If you did not buy the bone folder, no worries. A convenient little workaround for that is to use one of your blocks to make sure it's flat on the edge. Okay, so these note cards measure at 5 and 3.5. So a basic layer for the top of that will be 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. Now I have chosen this paper right here, and I've gone ahead and cut it down to my first layer. This is going to be a 4-step card. Why? Because there's basically 4 steps to it. So our first layer is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to take my multi-purpose glue, otherwise known as green glue in my world, and I am going to put a little on the back. Little goes a long way. You don't want too much because it will buckle your paper if you overdo it. So we're going to take that and we're going to line it up on the edges here, and we're going to make sure that it is even all the way around, and it gives you, see how I can slide it a little bit? Well, now it's starting to get stuck, but you can slide it around just a little bit and get it exactly where you want it to be. That's one of the reasons why I love the liquid glue. Our next step is going to be to grab a piece of our Very Vanilla, and we are going to take our, I chose navy blue. I think I mentioned in the first video that that one is my favorite. So I'm going to use my navy blue, and I'm going to stamp just saying hello right here on my block. I have it mounted on a D block, as I mentioned, and then I'm going to take that and I'm going to, let's see, it seems like I got a little carried away before, so we're going to stamp it straight down and straight up. Oop, see, I got mixed up. So we're going to flip it over and do it again on the other side. So let's see if I can do it a little bit more appropriate this time. Oh, still no. I am just not firing on all cylinders here today, am I? All right, so let's ink it up again. Just a couple taps. You don't want to go overboard, because if your ink pad is really juicy, then you're going to stamp here. You want to give yourself a little bit of room, because if you don't stamp it perfectly like I did the first 2 times when I messed it up, it gives you a little bit of room to trim it if it's not perfectly straight. So I'm going to go ahead and call that good enough, and close up my ink pad before I make a mistake and put my fingers in it, which I have been known to do. Then I'm going to take my paper here, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of room over here and slice down. Okay, then I'm going to take this right here, and you see how my hello is lined up straight down here. I'm going to slide it this way. So obviously that did not stamp straight the first time. Now I'm going to use that straight edge that I just created, and I'm going to actually, I want to save this piece up here, so I'm going to slice myself a little piece right there. Come back, I'm going to take the bottom edge where I sliced it and slice that. So I'm straightening it out for myself, basically. And in the end, I should end up with a piece that's about 1.5 by 2. If you are a straight stamper, you can go ahead and just cut your piece to 1.5 by 2. If you are not a straight stamper, even though I've been doing this for 20 years, sometimes I'm not a straight stamper. And there you go. Now, if you end up with little edges like I have here, can you see right there that I have a little frayed edge? I am just going to take my scissors and tidy that up, because I don't know what I did, but it didn't like me. So we're going to take that, and that is our step 2, stamping and cutting our sentiment. We're going to take our liquid glue, just a little dab will do you. A little bit goes a long way. We're going to flip that over, and we're going to put it right here in this corner. Then for our step number 3, we are going to take our granite ribbon. Let's see, what did I say this was? Gray granite? Yes, gray granite ribbon that was in our essentials kit at the very beginning. I'm going to make 2 bunny ears with my fingers, just like this. Let's see if I can, you know, your fingers get numb when you're on camera. Twist it over, pull it through, and voila, you have a little bow. Now, I like to fuss around with it and get it just like I want it to be. And there we go. That is how I want my bow to be. And I'm going to take a little piece right here and snip that off. And then I'm going to take a little piece right here and snip that off. And then I'm going to, where should I put the bow? Can I put it here? Let's put the bow here. I like that. So we are going to put a little dollop of glue on the back of that, and we are going to set it right here. That is step number 3. Our 4th and final step is to use our gilded gems to give it a little bit of an accent. So I like needle nose tweezers. Any pair of tweezers will help, but I love having a pair of tweezers on my craft desk, so you can find those, you know, in your medicine cabinet if you, or at your grocery store, or whatever you want to do. Okay, so I'm going to put that one right there, and then I'm going to go with a medium one down here in the corner, like so. And then I'm going to take this little guy right here and put him right up there, just like that. And you have a 4-step card. Simple, but beautiful, and ready to go in the mail. Now, because I have an envelope to go with it that I got out, here it is. Yes, that's the envelope. I am going to pick another image from within my Tasteful Touch stamp set, and I'm going to ink him up in navy blue. Let's say that we're going to send this to a guy. I'm going to go ahead with the feather that I already have on my block. I was briefly considering the flower or the furnish looking thing there, but I think I'll stick with my feather. And then I'm going to put that right here in the corner of my envelope. I do hope I have my envelope lying in the right direction. I didn't check. Whew, I do. And there you have a beautiful feather on the outside, and that just kind of ties your whole project together. So technically that's step number 5, but the card itself only had 4 steps. Now, before I started my video, I made an alternate card for you. If you were so inclined to kick it up a notch, this is another variation of the exact same card. There is virtually no difference except that I stamped that feather on a piece of scrapped very vanilla, and then cut it out with my little precision scissors, and then put the, let's see, twine. I used gray twine down here on the bottom with a little bit of glue. That's the only difference. Otherwise, it is the exact same card. Oops, I already smeared it. See, I should have let it dry, but I didn't. Anyway, that's our card for today. I hope you enjoyed card number 1 in our Tasteful Library. More to come. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye-bye.